Good evening, Georgia. Let's take a look at your weather event today. So what I have pulled up here is the NWS radar. So this is just seeing if there is any rain-sized droplets within the radar's range, and there seems to be plenty across southeast. Just scrolling along here, our target area is North Georgia, so let's look. Most of North Georgia has seen or is experiencing some pretty decent rainfall over the past couple hours, and I hate to tell y'all, this is not going to change for the next 2 to 3 days. Let's see what's happening. So what is happening here? What's happening? So let's go to our fronts. This is today. This is about what was happened about I don't know, 3 4 hours ago. This is the fronts that were happening about 3 to 4 hours ago. You have a stationary front over Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. You have this big boy, which is going to set up to be our big storm that will be passing through Friday. This guy right here is responsible for our weather today. And these little guys right here, these are called isobars. These are just pressure lines with the same, these are lines that with the places with the same pressure. And I see a dip. This is kind of indicative of North Georgia weather. We call it the wedge, and basically it is a sign of cold air intrusion. And it all starts with this little guy up here, just high pressure off the coast or off the east coast. And what these do is they just send cold air down, and it gets funneled by the Appalachian Mountains here. As you guys can see, this isobar line kind of follows this mountain range pretty closely. And this cold air is very dense. It's very close to the surface. It cannot get past these mountains. So it just follows them. It follows them all the way down. Takes it all the way down the coast to places where the cold air just simply should not be. And what does this look like? Well, here it is. This is what it looks like right now. You kind of have this cold air intrusion that I was talking about. That's just being led by the mountains straight from North Carolina. This is the UGA Weather Network. This is just a mesonet of a bunch of different stations in Georgia that gives current observations. This is very useful to look at, especially for these very mesoscale or very small weather phenomena. So you can see a bunch of cold air just sitting here, and it was like this for most of today and most of yesterday. It's just been cold, wet, rainy. Well, not even rainy really. It's just rain wanted to fall, but it just dried up, and all because of that cold air that was right there at the surface. This is a very, very, very shallow phenomenon. So you can't really see it unless you're at the surface, and this does a dang good job of showing us. So how is it going to change for the next couple days? Well, this thing's going to get kicked out. This wedge right here, just simply put, will get kicked out. And let's just see when. Well, let's see, what time is this? Okay. So this is 7 o'clock today, so it's a little bit more up to date. There it is. You can see the wedge. It's kind of there. It's not super bad. This is just a temperature model, so it's just going to be forecasting temperatures for the next. It goes out 48 hours, so we're 18 hours. Let's bring it out. Let's see how this model is responding to possible temperature changes. Keep an eye on these winds right here. I'm gonna hopefully, if this wedge is going to kick out, these surface winds need to start kicking to the south. As you can see, there's still kind of winds from the west, which is indicative of this cold air intrusion that is just bringing us high pressure, just yucky weather. So let's see what happens. And boom, look at that. Commute tomorrow. These winds are expected to shift. That will be bringing warm air into our area, and that is just going to set the stage for the storms tomorrow. Warm, moist air will be giving us, we're going to be experiencing a lot of rain tomorrow. So let's take a look at your composite reflectivity, extending it out to tomorrow. So it's not a bad representation of what the radar was saying. We call it initialization. It's not bad. Let's just see what happens as we go out. Most of North Georgia is just getting peppered, unfortunately, with rain. They're going to be experiencing a lot of rain after all this is said and done. Most of the southeast will experience 2 different weather events. This guy and another one which is going to set up, which maybe this one will There it is. See this little guy? This guy's gonna pepper up and start sending in some more storms our way going in Saturday, and hopefully it will be kicking out over on Sunday. But let's take a look here. For most of North Georgia, y'all are gonna be getting peppered with rain, but for Athens, not as much. Definitely the more northwest you go, the more rain that you get. What kind of totals are you looking at? Well, let's take a look at your QPF totals. This is your day one. So this is 7 o'clock. This is Wednesday. So 7 o'clock Wednesday to 7 o'clock Thursday. And your precipitation count for parts of northwest Georgia and some parts in the mountains here, almost 2 inches. So this will be a pretty heavy rain event as you go into work tomorrow. This is going to be a pretty heavy rain event, so be aware and be cautious. Thursday, 7 o'clock to Friday, or to 7 o'clock Friday. Not as much in North Georgia, which is good. But it's going to be kind of centered around central Georgia now as this thing starts swinging northeast and is bringing its tails and its remnants of storms. It's going to start hitting a little bit more south. And it's expected to bring 1.5 inches of rain. But your big rain event is going to be tonight going into tomorrow, as northwest Georgia is expected to get hampered with rain and storms. Let's see. So what kind of storms you say? I'm not convinced they're going to be severe. The Storm Prediction Center is a marginal risk, which really is not significant. Sorry, it's taking a long time to load, but it is not significant in the slightest. Most of it is going to be south, and that's still pretty mild. And the next day is this marginal risk has expanded a little bit, but I'm not convinced you guys will see any severe storms. A ripple of thunder every now and then, but your big thing you need to worry about with this is flooding. With these QPF totals, upwards to 2 to 4 inches of rain in this northwest tip, maybe spots where there's a little bit more, but 4 inches of rain in a couple days, that's a significant amount, and 2 to 3 inches anywhere else. So once again, this northwest corner, 3 to 4 inches of rain. Anywhere else, as you go down eastward or southernward, 2 to 3 inches is expected. And then the very tip of southeast Georgia, maybe an inch of rain in total with this event. But yeah, okay. Anything else that we need to be concerned with? One thing is fog, especially tomorrow morning. We're going to cool off to our dew point tonight, and that is just a recipe for fog. And be on the lookout on your drive to work in the morning, because it was foggy all day today, and I can guarantee you it will be foggy again tomorrow, especially in the morning. Maybe when that warm front kicks in, it will increase temperatures, maybe kick some of that fog out, which is expected. And it's also kind of interesting, this fog is very much within the wedge also, or the cold air intrusion, which was why we had so much fog today. So we are expecting fog again tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Fog tomorrow, possible flooding. 2 to 4 inches of rain is expected across most of Georgia. More as you go up north. Not much severe. Maybe some thunderstorms every now and then. Pretty heavy downpours though, so be weather aware.